Society need men?
Yes and no.
No.
So why yes and why no for you? And then I'll ask you why you said no.
Well, because in today's society, sometimes you don't need the male to have a baby anymore.
Yeah.
That's why I would say yes and no.
Got a video from Steph Marcel. It is this is what happens when women hate men, and what we can see right now is them trying to figure out what men actually do for them, even though they're standing in the middle of a campus that a man built.
It's not like a moral thing for me. Yeah. I'm like we can exist without men only because new research has been discovered of making egg into sperm, so we can reproduce without men. So it's not like a moral thing. It's more of like a like if men just died right now, could we survive? Yes, because of the new research that
I see articles like this one, published in New York Magazine, titled, "This economist crunched the numbers and stopped dating men, and has never been happier." Are men really the problem? Or perhaps this woman wasn't straight and found a better gay partner and used some numbers to substantiate her choice. Ultimately, this is just another case of women finding ways to blame men for their problems and playing the victim card to garner attention, pity, and reasoning for their situation. As I've said in some of my previous videos, it seems like the only way women know how to elevate themselves is by punching others down.
Like Kevin Samuel said, shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. Modern women really don't have anything to bring to the table. That's why they get upset when you ask that question. They only know how to, instead of elevating themselves, they only know how to put themselves down instead of saying, well, we're equal, we can both go up together. You'll hear them say this type of stuff in relationships when they say dumb stuff like, well, there's only one diva in this relationship. There's only one queen in this relationship, as if the man is not supposed to get respect and reciprocal energy.
It's sad and disgusting because it's not only hurting men, but also women. It's creating a divide between us, a hate for one another that I think is leading to a loneliness epidemic. It's not natural to humans, and it's causing an immense number of unintended consequences and destroying society. A recent Gallup poll found that men in the US aged 15 to 34 are amongst the loneliest in the West, with about 25% of men saying they experienced feelings of loneliness in the previous day. This trend is also felt in many other rich Western countries, like Ireland, Canada, and the UK, all above 20%. Many articles try to attribute this loneliness epidemic amongst young men to video games. I might be wrong, but personally, I think those are just coping tools and an outlet for constantly being ridiculed, diminished, and rejected by society. It seems like every day there are stories mocking strong men, rejecting the idea that society needs men to function, disparaging the idea of kids needing a father, eliminating male bonding spaces, and humiliating the idea of men as the protectors because they are actually the violent predators.
And even looking at that video about how gym bro culture is harming us or driving more and more men to this desperate, dark, lonely place. A man can't even get healthy in peace. Literally cannot get healthy in peace without people talking about that's unhealthy. He's got to have something wrong with him and it's making society worse. Are you joking?
I think modern society has wrongly guided men to a place of destitution, to a nowhere land where their ingrained biological roles as men have been replaced by foreign concepts idealized by spiteful women. It's not normal, and we shouldn't expect men to embrace or tolerate it. If we look back at historical tribal and hunter-gatherer societies, as well as warrior cultures, gender roles often reflected a division of labor shaped by survival needs. Men typically engaged in high-risk mobile activities such as hunting, raiding, or warfare, while women focused on tasks that ensured community stability, including gathering, food processing, childcare, and maintaining social networks. Although men and women generally cohabited in shared communities, it was common for men to spend extended periods away in all-male groups, pursuing these activities, which not only promoted strong male bonds and hierarchies, but also reinforced their roles as protectors and providers. Within both male and female groups, hierarchies emerged alongside multi-generational structures, enabling elders to impact wisdom, enforce norms, and guide younger members towards their social roles, fostering leadership and community cohesion.
And what you see happening today is women trying to essentially kick men out of their role, saying that we don't need you for this, you're not good at that, when really you are able to do this because a man provided a way so that you could get into this position. You want to take over what a man is doing, and you're wondering why you're masculine.
Today, especially in Western societies, these communal systems have largely transitioned to isolated nuclear family units, often characterized by minimal interaction with neighbors or extended kin. The traditional world of men, marked by purpose-driven bonding through shared risk and rituals, now finds limited outlets in areas like sports or military service. Similarly, the multi-generational female support groups that once provided the emotional, practical, and social guidance have diminished, leading women to rely more heavily on male partners for the kind of comprehensive support that was once provided by female communities. But for many male partners, because of their nature, the nuclear family is not enough in fulfilling their needs for deeper purpose and male camaraderie, as a single female partner cannot fully replicate the dynamics of historical all-male groups. And thus, it's unrealistic for women to expect their male partner to fully replace the emotional support provided by traditional female groups. Yet, this common dynamic where partners are burdened as everything often fuels unhappiness, exacerbated by eroded social networks, urbanization, and digital isolation. But yet, this is the modern day expectation. And if men fall short, they are perceived as uninterested, disconnected, and not present as good partners and fathers. Social media only reinforces these high expectations set on men, further fueling the division between men and women. One reason is the anonymity of social media allows people to state opinions, lies, and falsehoods.
And I'm just looking at this little article that she's got here where it talks about love is no longer enough. Today, marriages expect more from partners than ever before, which, I mean, you have to grow, but it seems like for modern women, they don't have to grow. They say they're growing because they're listing off a bunch of things that they're doing. But when you get into the relationship, it comes to the forefront just how terrible of a partner they are. Well, I've gone through the therapy and the healing work. I'm looking for a man that has done the same. I'm expecting him to be emotionally available, emotionally intelligent. I'm expecting him to be able to communicate because that's what I bring to the table. Well, whenever I talk to you and I'm communicating with you effectively, why is it that you continue to get an attitude? There was a video that I did, I think, in my other channel. I think I can't remember his name. No Dose, I think it's something like that. No Dose Filter, or something like that. He covered it, where Kevin Samuels was talking to a woman about, well, she was kind of reviewing her first impression of Kevin Samuels. Her boyfriend brought it to her, and he said, "Hey, I want you to watch this. I think it's pretty interesting." She said, "Get this stuff out of my face. I don't want to hear nothing about this." And soon after they got in a fight, he said, "Why don't you take me seriously?" She said, "Because you don't pay my bills." And then basically that was the end of the relationship. Maybe they went a little bit longer, but that type of stuff destroyed the relationship. Her thinking like that. That's how modern women think. Well, I expect a man to be emotionally intelligent. But as you can see, when she said that in that moment, that's not emotional intelligence. The man is coming to you and he's sharing. These are the things, maybe not everything that he's saying, but these are the things that are important to me. These are the things that I resonate with. This is how I feel. And he point blank period said, "Why don't you take me seriously?" That's emotional vulnerability. And you said, "Because you don't pay my bills." You know, the man communicate. That's effective communication too. Why don't you take me seriously? That's an honest question. Because you don't pay you have to pay my bills first in order for me to give you respect. I'm demanding that you give me everything that you have, but I'm going to still disrespect you. What would a man want to be involved with that for?
They would never express in person. So widespread sayings like men are trash are normalized. You also see women repeatedly vent about bad relationships without acknowledging their role in choosing or staying with those partners. This infects the social conditioning of females and pervades into media and entertainment that men are trash, players, users, and abusers. Of course, those men exist. But again, the negativity bias projects much further than reality. When women are constantly bombarded by the message to be cautious of men, this amplifies fear and fuels distrust and disgust against men.
And once again, if you want to see the original video, she's got a 2-part series on this. I think it's one of her recent videos, but it's basically, this is what happens when women hate men, right? So we're going to watch the second part. Check her out on her YouTube channel, Stephanie Marcel. I'll try to link it in the description.
They don't want you? They don't want you? You actually have to be likable to find someone? The fact that women don't need men to survive anymore has caused the male loneliness epidemic. Men had to manufacture a sense of need for their presence. And you don't know how to be desirable to women, so you're lonely. Oh, thoughts and prayers.
And even seeing this now, you're probably going to run into some of these women that are wanting a man to help them. Thoughts and prayers. Be careful with that AC unit.
Are some women so delusional they think they can openly and freely disparage men without consequence? Yes and no. Yes, because they are delusional, but also no, because they live in a social and cultural bubble that reinforces these delusions to a level of normality. They have no idea how the world works and how men are essential to almost every part of their lives. To the food on their plates, to the homes that they live in, to the roads that they drive, to the technology that they use, and to the conception that gave them life. In conjunction with this degradation of men, we've given all the power to women. We've raised women up, as we should, but not to be equals to men, but to levels far above men, telling women we are far superior and don't need men in our lives. This superiority complex leads to sweeping generalizations like believe all women, as if all women are innocent, are always the victims, can do no harm, do not lie, cheat, abuse, or are violent. The media further fuels this narrative, often sentencing men to trial by media, portraying men as the predators and abusers, and should lose their job, be cancelled, and have their lives ruined without even being found guilty of a crime.
Yeah, and once again, these modern women will go and get a degree and then try to come back and tell a man how to do his job. And the man is sitting there, maybe with a lesser degree, running circles around her because he's actually been hands-on in the field.
Some Hollywood celebrities, influencers, podcasters, YouTubers also echo these same sentiments, deepening these narratives throughout society. This mass fight and war against men just drives a wedge between men and women because it has led men to distance themselves from women out of fear of being falsely accused, mislabeled, and potentially dumped, fired, or canceled for no reason. The workplace environment has become an HR hotspot, where men aren't willing to be alone in a room with a woman. They censor their conversations around women, and overall just distrust women and question their motivations and intentions. And some men have even checked out of the dating pool, believing the effort isn't worth the cost, because the likelihood of finding a woman who offers an equal exchange of value is unlikely. Now, what many women fail to understand is that they may think they have won by rising above men and making them feel dispensable, but in reality, it only leads to self-destruction.
Tell me why every day I go out looking adorable, bouncing, skin glistening, and yet nobody ever hits on me or approaches me. Ever. Oh my God, like please. I'll take a construction worker catcall at this point. Please.
The same Gallup poll I referred to in part 1, which found that men in the US aged 15 to 34 are amongst the loneliest in the West, also found that the second most lonely group are women aged 35 to 54. It's funny how the headline is about the men, when in reality, women are not too far behind.
Exactly. They would like you to believe that men are just suffering and everything is terrible. But then there's too many women online crying about, I'm 32, I'm single, I'm lonely, I've never had a boyfriend, I just want somebody to love me. When is it my turn? I go to church, nobody pays me any mind. God, when are you going to send a man? It's too many modern women out here saying this type of stuff for them to, oh, I'm single, I'm happiest I ever been, I'm child free. No, you're not. You're lying is what you're doing.
If I were to speculate, I would say these women are most likely unmarried, don't have kids, and are working unfulfilling jobs. And these are not out of choice. They do want to be in a loving relationship with a quality man and have a family and kids to care for, and maybe have a part-time or full-time job that provides them some form of satisfaction outside the family. Their desperation is high because they're nearing the end of their fertility window without finding that partner they want to start a family with, and they see the doors closing. They potentially also spent the past decade adhering to the modern feminist belief that they don't need a man and they should focus on themselves and their careers, only now to come to the realization that those ambitions provide little life satisfaction, especially as they get older and see their friends get married and start families. And thus, all the extracurricular activities with friends and colleagues start to dry up. You don't have to look far on social media to see evidence of this, where women are complaining they can't find a quality man, that they are alone and want to start a family. But few men want to be with these women because they are often self-centered, entitled, bring little to the relationship, and don't understand how to be a valuable partner to the men they desire. This is especially a problem for younger generations, because if women, social media, news media, and society make it their mission to destroy men, then how are they to develop, grow, and become the real men that women will come to desire, to become their husbands and father of their children? We are removing outlets for young boys and men, for example, less recreation time and sports in schools to blow off steam. And we wonder why so many young kids, and especially boys, are being diagnosed with hyperactivity disorders. Very few boys now go to Boy Scouts or some equivalent, which gives them a space amongst men to engage in male bonding activities and camaraderie.
Everything that pertains to a male, what a male wants to do, where he wants to be, even if he doesn't end up liking that sort of thing, you have to let a man roam. You have to let a man be free to, oh, I want to try this out. I want to do this. Oh man, well, let's play with this. Let's pick up this toy. Man, I don't know if I like Legos, but I like Hot Wheels. That's how it starts. You're allowing the man to explore. Nobody's telling you that the man has to go out here and he has to be inconsiderate of others. He has to be reckless in his exploration, but he has to get out there and put his hands on things. I need to touch it. Men are very hands-on, whereas modern women will sit there and they will clasp their hands together and let's share stories. That's boring to men. That's boring. But yet men have to have or grow or develop an appreciation for this side of life. You need to get in touch with your feelings. While a man says, okay, I'm in touch with my feelings. Now come over here and have some fun with us. Get into the action. Oh, I don't know if I like that. Oh, we need to come in here and change this up. We need to switch it. Oh, I don't like that talk. So a man comes in and appreciates your space, and he's got to go in there and just be. While you come over into his space, like Boy Scouts and things of that nature, and drive it into the ground. Modern women go into male-dominated spaces and literally drive them into the ground with their foolishness.
Men need their spaces to just be men, just like women need their spaces to just be women. There used to be many gentlemen's clubs or male health clubs that provided these bonding spaces, but a few vocal feminist women have protested, claiming they are discriminatory on the basis of sex and should allow women entry and membership. We call men's only spaces sexist for not allowing women, but women's only gyms, camps, events, and spas are not. Where can men go to just be men? The progressive leftist, woke, liberal women have no incentive to provide a balanced perspective, because that would reduce or remove the agenda they want to push for their own gains. If only one side of the truth and narrative are continuously pushed, it has a cultural impact where incorrect beliefs become the normal group attitude. And it only hurts women, because often what women say and what they respond to are two very different things. They will say one thing for social cohesion or groupthink, but act in a completely opposite way. For example, there is a narrative pushed that women want soft, caring, emotionally vulnerable men, but they also punish those men and feel unattracted to them if they do express feelings or a softer, vulnerable side. Women also fight for equality of outcome in the working world, but aren't willing to do the long hours, dirty, and dangerous jobs that men do. They only want the CEO and board positions to be equal, without having to take the long, hard, and sometimes personally damaging road to get there.
And in a lot of these situations where they have to do the tough jobs, they literally cannot stand it. They physically cannot stomach it. They can't do it. You cannot be on the level of modern women need to grow an appreciation for what they can do. They need to grow an appreciation for their strength. Modern women spend too much time trying to equal a man. If a man gets in the gym and he lifts up 500 pounds and you spend all of your time trying to lift up 500 pounds, you're going to get nowhere. Most likely you can't do it. You can't. Why don't you go back over there? Do the 100. What's the harm in that? What's the shame in that? What's the shame in doing what you can do? A man will look over, see you doing the 100 and say, whoa, man, she's really getting it. He's looking at the weight, but he's also looking at your dedication. He's looking at your commitment to wanting to get better, wanting to grow. But you'll look at the man and be like, oh man, he thinks he's better than me. I have to do it. As a matter of fact, even though you know you can't do it, as a matter of fact, I'm going to march over there right now and tell him, get out of the way. I want to do this. I'm going to try this. And then when you can't do it, You turn to him and say, why didn't you help me? You must have done something to this bar. You must have put some extra weight on it, snuck some extra. See, that's inequality. I'm going to tell you what. We need to change this. We need to make some laws and rules against a man being able to lift 500 pounds. And I'm not able to do that. Let me tell you what we're going to do. We're going to get the 100-pound weight that I have, and we're going to label it 500 pounds. And then I'm going to lift the 500 pounds and we're going to put it all over social media. I'm a boss babe and I'm stronger than the men. And I've been able to do what men can't do or just as good as the men. And I'm going to be lifted up. I'm going to be the CEO. I'm going to be the best because I'm the best in the world. It's an ego boost. Continually coming in there and ruining people's spaces. All right, bro, my bad. All right, go ahead. Take your turn. Take your shot. That's what a man's going to say. You can't deal with a woman like this. It's detrimental to your health.
At the end of the day, the idea that women should overtake men and that men should basically live their lives in exile without consequence to women is laughable. But unfortunately, we are seeing the consequences of this mentality and reality play out, and it's not looking hopeful or beneficial to anyone. In this video, and I hope it comes across in all my videos, is a message that men and women need one another. We are equals in our value, but provide different types of value. And that's extremely important to the balance of our society, community, and family dynamics. I truly believe this. If women, the media, and society don't start treating men as equals and highly valuable to society, things are going to get a lot worse.
And men are hearing about how bad it's going to be for them all of the time. But I think if modern women start actually listening, some women do. Like, say, for instance, Steph here. Hey, man, we need each other. Hey, we need to really get on board on the same page and really work together with each other. Once again, I bring up that video where the interviewer was going around saying, hey, do women need men? No. It's a bunch of women talking about no. And then when you go around and say, hey, do men need women or whatever? Then the men will say, yes. I'm already on board. I know I need a woman. She provides to me whatever it is that she does. But a woman in her pride and ego, and because she's been lambasted with foolishness and a silly agenda, will sit up and say, nah, I can do this by myself. How far, leaving men out of it though, let's put men to the side. How far with that attitude do you think that you're going to get? With a prideful attitude, how far do you expect to make it? You're going to crash and burn. This is what's going, when women hate men like this, they show a disdain, a strong dislike for men. That's eventually what's going to happen. You're going to ruin your entire life. And we see that from women crying in their 40s and 50s about how they need help. I should have married young. I can't do that. I literally can't get around my house and do things that normal people do because I don't have the strength to do it. There was a woman crying about she put up her Valentine's Day decorations, took them down after Valentine's Day, boxed them up, and couldn't even put them away because it was too heavy. Where's a man when you need him? Away from y'all. Y'all have been nightmares.
Stop doing what feels good and start doing what is good. We have a serious problem when men are looking for the next best thing to just comfort them and make them feel good. Going out on the weekends and getting drunk. Continuously chasing after girls who have no real value and don't respect you at all whatsoever. Are you going to spend your entire life just degrading yourself more and more? Oh, don't take life too seriously. Life is too short to take seriously. Really? I think we have the opposite problem, and I think we need to start spreading the opposite message. You are lucky to be here. Life is short. So take yourself seriously. Give yourself something to feel good about. Make a decision that you don't want to make, but you know you're making it for the greater good and for a deeper purpose. Stop chasing after the next cheap dopamine hit. It's cheesy, it's weak, it's overplayed, and it's reflecting in who you are. One of my favorite quotes, how you do one thing is how you do everything. Start carrying yourself like somebody that matters. If you keep living life like you've given up, then what is there to live for? Do your part. Be a man. Be a good man. Every day that passes you by is another day where you lost. If you want to start winning, then you have to start choosing differently. It's sickening what's happening to the people in our society. Stop being one of them and be better.
Keep on hearing about how men need to step up and how they need to do better without hearing about how women are going to do their part. Men, do your part, contribute. They are contributing. Remember, you're sitting in your car right now. You're sitting on a road that a man paved, that a man created. What are you talking about?
Worst things about being single right now at 30 years old is the fact that I feel like I am grieving and feeling so upset over the fact that I missed out on love and a long-term relationship in my 20s. Mind you, I have never been in a long-term relationship. Like, I've had lots of short-term flings and things that I had really wanted to turn into something more, but ultimately they never did. And this is very devastating as someone who is now in her 30s, because I feel like I missed out on this entire chapter of my life that most people got to experience. Like, I will never get to experience young love. And I'm not saying 30 is old at all. That is not what I'm saying. However, I do think that obviously, like, the older you get, the different you act than you would have in your 20s or younger. Like, I really genuinely feel like I missed out on that first love that everyone has when they're in their late teens or 20s. And it sucks because it's like, okay, well, hopefully I'll go through my 30s getting into a long-term relationship at some point. But that's just not the same as like being in high school and having your first boyfriend, or even in college or something like that. Like, my first relationship long term is going to be well into my adulthood. And what makes this whole thing even worse is that I genuinely believed, like, I could have like bet on my life that I would have had a relationship in my 20s. Like, there was actually no doubt in my mind. Like, even though I didn't have anything long term in high school or college, I was like, I'll definitely meet someone and probably get married before I'm 30. Never did I imagine being 30 years old and being able to sit here and say, yeah, you know, I've never been in anything long term. And it just really breaks my heart. Like, it makes me so sad for the younger version of me that like wanted this and really thought it was going to happen, because I feel like I let her down. And this is now a time of my life that I'm never going to be able to get back and experience. And at this point, I'm like, okay, if I'm lucky, hopefully I'll meet someone that I'll want to get into a long-term relationship, and vice versa. But yeah, like, I don't even have an issue with being single. I really don't. I know it might seem like it. What I have an issue with is grieving something that I was positive was going to happen, and now looking back and realizing I got nowhere near it.
I mean, you're not really missing out on a lot that you didn't cause. They be grieving stuff that they messed up. A lot of these modern women, oh, my relationship is over, I got divorced. But you got divorced and you left a good man because that's what you wanted to do. You could have fixed that.
Why am I 34 years old with a little crush on somebody who I met this weekend? Silly. I went to a friend of a friend's birthday party on Friday night, and I met the birthday person's best friend, who was very charismatic. And this individual spent a lot of the evening chatting with my friend and me. They've known each other for several years now, so I was just meeting everybody for the first time. And I just realized that, it's not like I just realized, but I realized that I'm very drawn to people who are like charismatic, like can really charm a room. And as this person and I were having one-on-one conversations throughout the evening, like, there definitely was a lot of like body language where it was like light touches, just like kind of light holding the hand, or like poking at each other, like as we were chatting and telling stories with each other. And I'm like, oh, okay. I feel like as somebody who's very like sensy and a lover girl, I'm very attuned to an adjustment of body language. He and I are essentially like mirroring each other as we're speaking with one another. This person saying how, you know, it's his birthday now at midnight, and we're like, happy birthday. He's like, oh, you should like come through to my birthday thing on Sunday. And we're like, oh yeah, sure. At one point in our conversation, he just like slides me his phone. He's just like, give me your number so I can give you your birthday invite. And I was like, oh, okay. So I just give him my phone number. I was like, oh, Riz, you know, because like, I feel like most people nowadays are like, what's your social media handle? Let's follow each other and we'll DM each other. It's me being a little fixated and having a little crush on somebody because I was very drawn to him as a person. And just like seeing the way he engages with people, and also the way he was like engaging with me one-on-one. And I was like, I need to go out more. I actually go out quite a bit. You know what? Me saying I need to go out more is wild because I actually go out a lot. So I do meet a lot of people regularly. A lot of different personalities too. I don't know. Having a crush on somebody at 34 years old is wild business. But you know what? I think instead what it does mean for me, instead of being like, whoa, I have a little crush on somebody, I instead see that as an indicator that I'm in a mental headspace where I'm aware of what I like and don't like in somebody who could be a potential romantic partner, and am feeling safe enough to navigate that and move forward and not letting my former traumas behind me. So I consider that healing and growth if I have a little crush on somebody.
Oh man, it sounds like you're describing a regular relationship, like a regular crush, like a regular way of going about things. Modern women, I don't know why, but it seems like they want to be so smart. Like they overdo things, they exaggerate things for no reason.
It's really tiring. Don't get me wrong, it's exciting. You know, it's exciting talking to someone, it's exciting catching up for that first date, but it is tiring. Like, what do you mean I have to put makeup on and get dressed and go out after 6 p.m? Like, what do you mean? Like, clearly I am excited to meet my forever person, don't get me wrong. And like dating, yes, it can be very fun. I think when I first started going on a few first dates, it was a lot more exciting than it is now. I think this is the problem, right? This is the problem. I would be very happy right now getting my PJs on, having some dinner, and just plopping on the couch. But then on the other hand, I'm like, hang on a second. Do you want to be alone forever, or do you want to find a husband? I just feel like I'm so impatient, and I just think if I don't find my husband in the next 3 weeks, I'm done. I'm done with the dates. I'll be fine. I'll be fine by myself. I'll get a dog. It's all good. Anyway, all of my dates are from the apps. Match with someone, you start the conversation. Like if you guys gel, if you match, if he asks me for a drink and I'm feeling it, like I'm not feeling like he's an idiot, I'll be like, yeah, let's do it. Why not? I don't really think I like to talk too much. Nice check-in here and there is good during the week. I've done the whole like tell me about your favorite color online, and it's shit. I think just like keeping it to a minimal online is best. And I don't know, you see if you vibe with that person. I went on a date the other night. Lovely guy, really lovely guy, but I feel like I can just tell straight away when the energy's off. Like, I just felt a bit awkward. Like, I don't usually get awkward. I don't mind kind of sitting in silence or waiting for them to ask a question or whatever. I don't know, I didn't really feel it, which was fine. Like, we didn't really chat much beforehand at all. And maybe I should have talked a little bit more with him. It's just tiring. Gotta get dressed, put your makeup on, do your hair, pick an outfit. Like, here I am being like, I would love to find someone. And on the other hand, I'm like, I'm very happy sitting in my robe at home. Sorry if I sound like a little ungrateful dater. I'm not. I'm really not. Okay? I'm just like, I think it's exciting. It is very exciting. Oh, well, we're finishing off the makeup like that. It's very exciting when I get there. I think it's just the lead up. I'm like, can't be effed. Cannot be effed. Like, I want to just cook my chicken and go lie down. I've got the light back on quickly. I think I'm just going to leave the makeup there. If the light goes out again, this is what I look like. And then I think I'm just going to do like jeans, top, shirt kind of vibes. I think this makeup's nice, right? Done, but not too done. Like, you can tell what I look like naturally, right? I love this lip combo. The lips look juicy.
You notice a lot of these women are using TikTok and social media in general as their bestie. That's why you get a lot of stories that are personal and private, and they should not really, honestly and truly, be shared with anyone. But some of these modern women, I don't want to say they don't have any friends. It's just they want to tell somebody, and social media is a great way for them to get that instant hit. I mean, they're going to tell their friends anyway. Some of their friends follow them online, and they're in the comments, oh, I'm so happy for you, let me know how it goes. So they're going to debrief for 3 or 4 hours afterwards. But I just need that it sounds like a drug. I just need that hit right now.
So weird. Ready with me to go on a date as a 25-year-old that's never had a boyfriend. We've got Lady Gaga playing in the background to hype us up. But a little bit about the date tonight. I have never met this man, so it's going to be like the first date with him. In Tampa, we have this place called Armature Works, and I don't really know how to describe it, but it's like an indoor-outdoor food court. There's a bunch of restaurants outside, but there's also a bunch of restaurants inside, and then there's seating areas that you can like pick and choose your own table. It's
So you're describing it right now. That's what it is.
like a very vibey food court, in my opinion, but it's cute. Like, it's a cute area. The weather's nice out today too, so we're gonna be grabbing drinks, and then we're gonna be like walking along the river that's right next to it. I'm supposed to be meeting him at 7, but he only mentioned drinks, so I'm kind of like, sir, that's my dinner time. Like, are we gonna... It's already going bad. As I was saying, I probably should ask, are we grabbing dinner too, because I am starving at the moment. I'm so hungry I could eat this man. He doesn't take me out to dinner. My hair is already overstimulating me, and I curled it, but I don't care. Like, I'm actually getting hot right now. Like I've said, I've never had a boyfriend before, and that's fine. Like, I feel like I have a pretty fulfilling life, but I feel like now's the time for me to experience romantic love. I feel like I have so much love for my family, my friends, random strangers, animals, but I've never experienced romantic love, and I really want to. I don't think I mentioned this, but tonight's look is gonna be like natural glam, but also sexy at the same time. We want this man to fall in love with me on the first date, obviously.
I can't hate on some of these women. It's part of the experience for them. Just talking, getting ready. They're going to do the same thing on the wedding. They're going to do the same thing when they get engaged. They're going to do the same thing pretty much all their life. Everything has to be talked about. Everything has to be discussed in detail, down to the very minute detail, to the smells, to the sights, what she was feeling. And I saw an eyelash fall off, and that must have been a sign. So I'm not really hating on that. I think for men, they just want to be appreciated, right? The experience is a little bit more simpler. I want to come here, meet a nice woman, pay for the date, want the woman to appreciate it. I text her, did you get home? Yeah, can't wait to see you again. And we keep on doing it until we're in a relationship, and we get engaged, and when we get married. It's a lot simpler. But modern women have so many things, so many checklists, so many subjects and topics to talk about. Sometimes it gets a little bit confusing and overwhelming.
I don't go 50-50 with men because broke men are not superior to rich men in any facet. Broke men are not less likely to cheat. They're not more loving. They're not more attentive. They're not more caring. They're not more empathetic. The same way that rich men are not more generous, okay? Men are men are men. Whether they have $0 in their bank account or 10 million. They're all gonna treat you like shit. One is not more inclined to treat you better or more likely, or you don't have a higher survival rate or a higher statistic of your relationship working out because one has more money than the other. The point is, they're both equally going to be awful to you. They both have the same stat on cheating on you. They both are going to make you cry. So why on God's green earth, if I know that the outcome is going to be the same, would I waste my time with a broke man?
Well, I guess my question would be, why would you waste your time on those type of men anyway? Instead of drawing or coming to the conclusion, well, this man is a terrible man and he's broke. This man is a terrible man and he's rich. So it must be something deeper than that makes the man, besides his money, besides his socioeconomic status. I need to find that. I need to get to that point of center. Instead, you're saying, I would rather take the lesser evil, which is the rich guy, the guy that's going to beat me upside my head, the guy that's going to powerbomb me off the second floor, the guy that's going to bust me in my face here and there. At least I can cry in a Bentley, that sort of nice, stupid stuff. Instead of just saying, well, you know what? Honestly, I would love to be stable financially. All those things are important, but we got to get it right. We got to get a man's integrity right. We got to get his behavior right. Y'all be focused on the wrong things. Then you get in the car, start talking nonsense. You don't know what you're talking about. Instead of just sitting back and saying, what characteristics does this man have? Y'all worry about the wrong things.
Oh, I'm like so over men. I'm so over men. Because tell me why this guy reaches out to me, asks me on a date, okay? Unprovoked, asks me on a date, okay? We set a time.
Unprovoked, like he liked you? I don't know what you guys, how do you think dating works? He's going to see you across the way, he's going to like you, and he's going to come up and say something to you. I don't know why that's such a foreign concept.
To meet up on Friday. Well, last minute, I ended up having to work, so I had to reschedule. So I texted him naturally and I said, hey, I have to work on Friday now, but I'm off Sunday if you want to hang out on Sunday. So then he says, oh, I have something to do in the morning, but I'll be free later. And I said, okay, cool. So what time? Like, what time do you want to hang out? Never texts me back, okay? A full 24 hours goes by, and at that point, I'm just like, you know what? I guess I'm not going out with this guy. So I delete his number, the whole thing. So then, later on, he texts me, hey, how's your day going? Don't text him back, because I was like, dude, you're already wasting my fucking time. So then, he sends me another text that says, do you hate me? And at that point I was like, okay, let me send him a text back. And I said, no, I don't. I just feel like we had a lack of communication, and honestly, like, I'm good. Basically says, oh, my bad, like, won't happen again, but like, I do want to hang out with you, whatever. So then I was like, hey, I haven't been on a date since like May, okay? It is the end of September. So I was like, you know what, I want to go on a date, let me do this. So then I say, okay, let's hang out Sunday. Just let me know what time you're gonna be here, okay? He never texted me back. This was on Tuesday. It is now Saturday. We're supposed to be going out tomorrow, and he just stopped texting me back. There's no follow-up, nothing. So I bought a ticket to Crossed, and I'm gonna do that instead. And that's my story.
He probably should have communicated, but maybe he just found interest somewhere else, right? So I think if you cancel on the first date, or you basically say, well, yeah, you canceled. I got to work last minute. Can we reschedule? Which I think is good faith. I just think, maybe he saw that and said, hey, the signs were there. If she's going to reschedule for work, then, and basically if I'm not enough of a priority, and I know some women might say, what do you want me to do? I have to work, right? Women get mad when they clear their schedule, they do their makeup, they've been shopping all week for the perfect outfit, and then a man last minute says, hey, I'm sorry, I got called into work. Women will say, don't give him another chance. He's got another girlfriend, leave him alone. But when a man says, hey, can we meet up? And then you say, well, work called last minute, can we reschedule? Then all of a sudden he's got to be understanding and empathetic towards your situation. So I think in some situations that's a little bit of a double standard.
You're like, I think I'll give the 5'8" guy a chance, even though I'm 5'7". And so you'll go on a date with them. And you're like, this isn't bad. But you're like sitting, eye level with them. And you're like, oh, he's like really cute, really nice. They always end up being really nice. And then you get up from your seats and you go like watch your car and you're like, oh my God, I forgot you're my height. This is why I don't get why the girls who are like, I don't know, 5'4", 5'3", why are you guys taking all the tall men? Leave it to the girls who are taller, 5'7", 5'8". Like, the 6 foot standard isn't because we're being shallow. It's just literally because I would like somebody taller than me.
One thing, when I went through marriage counseling, and my parents really told me the same thing too. And I've actually had like a few pastors kind of tell me the same thing before I got married. Is it going to matter in 5 years? And you want to get mad about some stuff. You want to worry about some things. You want to, and in the moment, it does seem like it's a big deal. It seems like, man, no, I really have to have this. This is something that I can't back off of. And really 5 years down the road, it doesn't matter. And I mean, that could be in relationships, and that can also be in your own personal life. This debate about how tall he is, I get it. I think everybody gets it within reason. There are some instances where you got an extremely short dude and an extremely tall woman and woman, and they're making it work because they've just decided, you know, his height doesn't really matter. Her height doesn't really matter. I mean, yeah, it kind of looks weird, but we really love each other and we really want to take care of each other. And whatever you think is funny, we're making it work. So when you hear women, and she has some good stuff to say in some of her other videos, so I'm not going to be too like super critical, but when you hear people say stuff like this, then it's kind of like, what are y'all actually looking for? If you're having good conversation with the guy, he's attractive to you, he's not that much shorter than you, what's the deal? Well, he's like 3 or 4 inches shorter. It doesn't matter. Like, we got to start saying, do I want to be happy, or do I want to be the subject of everybody just having to please everyone? Y'all always talk about, I got to do something for me, modern women. I have to make sure that I'm good for myself. I'm taking care of me. I'm loving myself. Part of loving yourself is doing what's best for you. What's best for me? I thought I wanted a man that was 6 feet tall, 6 foot tall man. But it turns out I found love in a man that's 5'7", 5'8". I'm 6'1". You know, it kind of looks weird, but the way the man treats me, I'm completely floored. I love this man to the moon and back. You know, his height, after a while, it don't even register. It don't even come into my thought, because this man he treats me so well. He takes me wherever I want to go. He does for me whatever I want him to do. Yeah, there's imperfections here and there, but that's for both of us. But this man absolutely adores me. But instead, modern women are missing the freaking boat by letting dudes like this walk straight out of their lives. Oh, well, he was nice. He was just too short. No, he wasn't. He literally wasn't. Y'all be sitting there after Chad and clapped your cheeks 4 or 5 times and not giving you no commitment, talking about, man, I really should have went back to Justin. I really should have went back to Matt. Dang, they really treated me really well. Yeah, well, you know, that's what your boys was trying to tell you when you ain't want to listen. Oh, well, guys, you just can't. That's what your girls were trying to tell you. That's what your parents were trying to tell you. Everybody was trying to tell you, stay with Matt. He's a good guy. I know he's a little short, but he's for you. Stay with that brother. You didn't want to hear it. So now we sitting up here and in some of our videos, oh, I'm going to get off the dating apps. You wouldn't have had to be on the dating apps if you was with Matt. Period. In the story. Y'all got to start getting y'all life together and thinking about what actually matters.